In the day's other news, President Trump rejected a key conclusion of his administration's new climate report. The findings were published Friday. They predict dire economic effects from global warming. Asked about that today, Mr. Trump said, "I don't believe it." The U.S. and European allies today condemned Russia's seizure of 3 Ukrainian naval vessels. The Russian Coast Guard fired on and then seized the ships on Sunday in waters off Russian-occupied Crimea. Moscow says the ships illegally entered its territorial waters. We'll have a full report later in the program. Britain's Prime Minister Theresa May has begun her final push to sell Parliament on a deal to exit the European Union. EU leaders approved the agreement on Sunday. It would keep Britain subject to EU rules even after leaving the bloc until at least 2020. In the House of Commons today, May warned opponents of the agreement that it may be the last best chance.
There is a choice which this House will have to make. We can back this deal, deliver on the vote of the referendum, and move on to building a brighter future of opportunity and prosperity for all our people. Or this House can choose to reject this deal and go back to square one.
President Trump warned today that the deal could hinder U.S. trade with Britain. Parliament is expected to vote on the issue the week of December 10th. Back in this country, a winter storm blanketed parts of the Midwest with heavy snow for a second day and snarled post-Thanksgiving travel in the process. Hundreds of people were stuck in airports overnight as blizzard conditions grounded more than 1,900 flights in Chicago alone. The snow and ice also covered roads from Michigan to Kansas. Jury selection began today for James Alex Fields, Jr., accused of killing a woman at a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. The victim was Heather Heyer, a counter-protester at last year's event. Fields allegedly drove his car into a crowd, killing Heyer and injuring dozens of others. He's facing a state charge of first-degree murder. The U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments today over whether Apple's App Store is an illegal monopoly. The dispute stems from a requirement that iPhone software applications be purchased directly through the App Store. Developers must pay the tech giant a 30% commission on all sales. iPhone users have sued, arguing that they are being overcharged as a result. And on Wall Street, bargain hunters helped stocks bounce back after last week's sell-off. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 354 points to close at 24,640. The Nasdaq rose nearly 143 points, and the S&P 500 added almost 41. Still to come on the NewsHour, an inside look at the Trump administration's immigration policy from a former Homeland Security official. Russia captures a Ukrainian naval vessel in the most dramatic escalation of that conflict in years. NASA lands a robotic spacecraft on Mars to research whether life there ever existed, and much more.